Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with a fun 12 by 12 layout. This is a Christmas themed layout, but I'm actually using very non-traditional Christmas colours. I have off camera stitched this cut file. It is from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and it's called the Stitch and Cut Hearts cut file. And I've just used the stitching part of the cut file, and I stitched it just in front of the TV over a few nights, with a ombre pink thread or floss that I had in my collection. And you can see the back here, I've just used washi tape to stick the cuts of the thread kind of to the underside of the layout, and that's just what I use to hold the thread in place. It's probably not the best solution, particularly not that washi tape, because it is not super sticky, but it will do the job. And once it's in the layout, in my album, you won't kind of, you can't see it anyway, but it also won't kind of peel off because it will be stuck between two layouts, and that will keep it hopefully stuck down and keep the ends nice and secure. So you can see I have two photos here, and they're both essentially the same thing. They're just of my son and I having a little snuggle before bed, and this was taken in early December, and I just wanted to scrap it because I thought the photos were cute. I don't take very many photos of me and Link. Well, I do, but they're all selfies, and yeah, it's nice to sometimes scrap photos of yourself with your children, I think. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Now I am using the Rosie Studio Bows and Bells collection, which was their release this year for Christmas. And I have pulled out all of the kind of pink and red themed thing. Not all of them, but that's the colour scheme I'm going with. More red than pink, even though the background is quite pink, but it is kind of, I do pull out more of the reddish themed kind of supplies. Now also my camera cuts out here in a minute, so I didn't realise, but you don't miss much, just me making the layers under my photos. So I used 3 different pieces of pattern paper, and I used the same 3 on both of my photos, and so that's all you miss. I've realised at least in enough time that I could delete some things off my phone and free up some storage and then continue filming. So I do apologise, it is about to kind of cut out from this point and then kind of magically come back where I've already backed my photos, but that is what happened. My phone ran out of storage. So yes, back to the layout. I am using the Bows and Bells collection from Rosie Studio. I don't know if you can still get it. If I have time, I'll have a look on their website and check. It is from the Reject Shop in Australia, and it's marketed as the Craft Stall. It's rebranded, but it is the Rosie Studio collection, and there is probably still some of it left in some of the Reject Shops in Australia, because particularly the paper pads are often still around after Christmas, but sometimes they reduce them and run them out, so I don't know, because I bought this before Christmas, so you'd have to have a look if it is still available. Now I fussy cut these flowers out of the pattern paper that I used for the background. So I did gut the pattern paper that I used as the border. You saw that when I stuck the white cardstock to it. And I have fussy cut the florals from it. And I'm using those to create this diagonal pattern on my paper. And it's a very, very diagonal. It's intentionally that way, but it is very much a diagonal. And I am just placing all of those flowers kind of around my photos and linking up both sort of diagonal corners of the layout. So I've stuck those all down. I didn't think you needed to watch me do that. And then I am now placing these, I don't know if they're poinsettias or not, but they're in the ephemera pack regardless. So with the Rosie Studio ephemera, you get 2 of everything. So that's why I have 3 different florals, but there's 2 of them of each piece. So there's 6 of the die cut florals that I am scattering around. Now I have made the top a little bit heavier than the bottom, and that is for this reason, because I knew that my title was going to be Christmas Joy, which was both of those pieces came in the ephemera pack as well, and I wanted to use them on the layout, so I just decided that that would be my title, Christmas Joy. And I knew the Christmas was going to go at the top, so I wanted it to be a little bit heavier, embellishing up there, so it had something to sit on, because obviously Christmas is a much longer word than joy. And so I'm putting the joy down the bottom onto the flowers down in the bottom right. And now I have pulled out some Christmas baubles in the sort of pinky tones and gold. Obviously there's a lot of gold in this too. And I am just scattering those around and figuring out where I might want them on the layout and just creating, I guess technically, I mean, there's more than 3 embellishment clusters. There's probably 4 if you count the above and below the middle section of the layout. But I do, I guess, focus on one of those areas to add a few extra little embellishments to. So I'm adding the baubles, and then on the red baubles there were already pink bows, and there were a couple of pink die cut bows in the collection, in the die cut pack, sorry. And so I decided to pop them up on foam and add them onto the red bauble, exactly on top of where there was already a pink bow kind of as part of the die cut. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully visually you can see what I'm doing and it is making sense. So that is what I'm doing. Look, this is almost done. Honestly, this was so quick to put together once I had stitched the background, which admittedly does take a while, but I just find it such a relaxing thing to do while I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. To be honest, I often back cut files that way, even if I'm just backing a normal cut file. I will often do it sitting in front of the TV, you know, of a night time with my partner. We might be watching whatever TV show we're currently watching, and I just back the cut file, and you know, we can still talk and I'm still kind of being part of everything. But I'm getting some scrapping done at the same time. So yeah, and I did that with the stitching too. I've just recently got into stitching backgrounds, and so I've done a couple of them, and yeah, it's quite an easy thing to do while you're watching TV, so I really like it. So I'm just tucking in some of the gold leaves that were also in the die cut pack. And again, there's 2 of each, so there are 3 different leaves and I've got 2 of each of them, so I'm scattering them around the clusters as well and just using some double-sided tape to stick those down. These probably would have stuck better with wet glue, but I am moving my craft room around and my wet glue was not on my desk and I just couldn't be bothered finding it, so I just went with what I had, which was the double-sided tape. So I am just finishing off this layout with some mists, and I do grab a few of my mists out. I grab my gold, which I'm actually on a mission to finish, believe it or not. I know that sounds like horrifying to finish my gold Heidi Swapp Colour Shine, but there is so little of it left. It's actually really hard to get out of the bottle. And so I do want to use it up. I'm on a mission to use that up as soon as I can this year. And so, yeah, I'm putting that on the layout first. And then I think I use a Distress Oxide in a pink colour. Don't ask me what, something lipstick, something maybe. And then I also have a pink from Kaiser Craft that I'm using as well. So 2 pinks, a darker pink and a lighter pink, and then the gold. And I'm just adding those as mists, and then I'm finished. We are all done. I will show you some close-up or a close-up photo at the end so you can see it in a little bit more detail. But that is the end of the layout. I hope you've liked how this one came together. As I said, it was very quick. Once I had done the fussy cutting and the stitching, the layout itself came together extremely quickly. So it's certainly an easy way to, yeah, make a really effective layout and effective background. So I hope you like this one. I will leave a link to the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop and also to the Facebook page, because Virginia often does freebies and things like that in the Facebook group. So I would strongly recommend that you join. Here is the layout, super speedy, but here is some close-up photos, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day.